You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodriguez for Black and White Live. Oh, goodness. The NFL seems to be at war with itself. Yes, the Players Association, the union, has some words for Roger Goodell and the woke NFL these days. Yeah. So, one of the reasons we're covering this on this channel is because the NFL put out vaccine rules the other day, which many are calling the Cole Beasley rule. Okay, Cole Beasley has stood up and said, I'm not getting vaccinated, bitches. I mean, basically, that's what he's come out and said. And, of course, he's a slot receiver for the Buffalo Bills, and a damn good slot receiver, by the way. Many other players have stepped up now since the NFL dropped this essentially, look, if unvaccinated players cause an outbreak, we're forfeiting games and you're losing your salary. And players were like, wait, what? DeAndre Hopkins came out and said, I may retire, bro. I may retire. I may shoot you the deuces and get out of here. Leonard Fournette, not happy about this at all. Former Patriot, Darius Butler, pissed about it. Says, this ain't right. This ain't right. There's a lot of players. Sam Darnold, it said he was uncomfortable about a month ago. Montez Sweat of the Washington football team, I still struggle with that, of the Washington football team came out and said, I'm not ready to take it either, man. Well, now the union has come out and essentially told Roger Goodell, you're full of S. I'm trying not to cuss these days, guys. You know what? You're full of shit. You're full of shit. Nobody is going to forfeit any games because you guys are not trying to lose any money. It looks like the NFL's union may be prepared to call its bluff, the NFL's bluff, on forfeiting games. And I still, like I said, I just put out a video, and I literally said, why not build in some makeup strategies? They really didn't do it this year. They didn't add an extra week. But the NFL could stretch it out. They already moved the Super Bowl back and added a week. So a chance to extend the season, a chance to get another one of those Tuesday games. I liked that Tuesday game, to be honest with you. I was like, man, we got a little Tuesday game going on here. And it turned out to be a hell of a good game, too, by the way. Let's get to this. It is from, of course, Corona Bro himself, Mike Florio. Union not thrilled with NFL memo threatening forfeitures for outbreaks among unvaccinated. Officially, the NFL's Player Association didn't pick a fight with the NFL over Thursday's memo that ramps up pressure on unvaccinated players to get vaccinated. Unofficially, the union isn't pleased/pissed. As one union official predicted on Friday, there were no forfeits in 2020, and there will be no forfeits in 2021. Especially not with full stadiums of paying customers whose money would have to be refunded. Let's be honest, I'm not a big advocate for the union of the Players Association, but they called their bluff. They're saying, NFL, you're not turning away fans and refunding money out of your own pocket. The owners are not turning away fans and refunding money out of their own pockets. They'll get the games played like they did in 2020 and currently have more than enough vaccinated players to make that happen. NFLPA spokesman George Attella described the NFL's memo to PFT as, quote, classically tactless. That's pretty good. Beyond that, Attella declined to comment. The union, we're told, wants to reduce the temperature when it comes to unvaccinated players being backed into a corner. The concern, per source, is that with players lashing out on social media, it potentially influences fans to take the same viewpoint. I don't believe that's a concern of the union. I don't. That's one of the main reasons why the union has resisted making vaccines mandatory. If the question were put up to a vote, it would likely prevail. After all, more than 80% of the membership has already gotten the vaccine. Forcing players who don't want it and won't get it into choosing between vaccine or football will prompt more of them to use available channels to complain about the league, about the union, and ultimately about the vaccine. So they're worried about the players slamming the Players Association as well. That's why it's not mandatory. Good God. It's complaints about the vaccine that the NFLPA would prefer to avoid in order to prevent potentially impressionable football fans from saying, for example, quote, if DeAndre Hopkins isn't getting the vaccine, I'm not getting it either. I don't believe that for a second. I don't think the union gives a rat's ass about what fans choose to do or choose to take the shot or not. I just don't believe that. Whether they're too self-serving. They're too self-serving. Let's just get that out of the way. You're not being brave, stunning, and courageous here, okay? Whether and to what extent football fans would rely on players for healthcare advice isn't clear. If you're listening to football players for your healthcare advice, you need new doctors. When it comes to making important decisions, our nature is such that various factors combine into a stew that swirls around in our brains. Which ingredient will be the one to drive the eventual yes or no decision? Maybe a Cardinals fan in Arizona was wrestling on Thursday with a fresh pro-vaccine messaging from politicians and commentators previously had spoken out against the vaccine. Maybe that fan was just about to decide to get vaccinated, and maybe Hopkins' tweet was the thing that kept that from happening. No way in hell. No way in hell. It's impossible to thread popcorn on something like that. Although fans listen to LeBron James, good God, his fans anyway, the broader point is the fewer the players who speak out against the vaccine, the lesser chance they'll influence any social media followers to not get it. And that's what the union is trying to avoid, and why the union isn't happy with Thursday's empty threats, all in the name of squeezing remaining anti-vaxxers into 32 locker rooms to change their tunes and take the medicine. Okay, so, yeah, they're coming out and saying now, well, we're worried about the fans and the messages that that's bringing about. No, we finally got to the point down at the bottom. They're worried about their own players tearing their butts up and destroying the league, or at least making the league look bad. They're not going to destroy the league. Before you know it, you're going to have politicians get involved in this somehow. That's got to happen. I mean, this is going off a cliff. I mean, it's a dumpster fire rolling downhill on a tire fire now. And the union is coming right out and saying, look, Roger Goodell, you know what you're not going to do? You're not going to forfeit games, and you're full of shit. And we're going to get paid. That's also what the Players Association and the union just told Roger Goodell. You're paying our players, vaccinated or unvaccinated. Those players are getting paid. Interesting. They're saying, the NFL, you can put out that memo, but you ain't doing nothing. You're spineless. I love it. I love that kind of fracture between the NFL and the Players Association, and them sort of just eating the hell out of each other. It's beautiful. I mean, you know, that's kind of what they get. That's kind of what they deserve. You know, we don't talk about enough about the fact that Roger Goodell has at times seemed like a competent commissioner, but at the end of the day, he's had some massive misses. Massive. Tell me what you think, Black and White Live fans. NFLPA said, nah, homie, you're not canceling nothing because you ain't got the stones to do it. You're not going to lose that money. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.